What up? Alright, welcome to another episode where we review Netflix movies. Alright, so we know that we were supposed to do this yesterday. Whatever, got busy, ended up not doing it. So it's Tuesday today. It's Tuesday even later in the afternoon, so I was hoping we could do it in the morning, but didn't work out. Anyways, so over the weekend we watched a bunch of movies. Our first few videos we only reviewed one movie. So I guess we're just gonna try and review like most of the ones we watched faster.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a weekend review.
Because we don't think it really makes sense for us, because what if we pick a bad movie and we review it? Like, you guys weren't going to watch it anyway, so what's the point of us reviewing it? So, we just watched a bunch. We'll give you as subjectively our or opinionated views as possible, and that's it. Okay, so the first movie we're going to go over was called The High Flying Bird. It's about... It's a lot about like the NBA
and what happens behind the scenes.
It was like a movie about like an NBA lockout, and then there was an agent and a player, and it was just that regard. So okay, I'll have you review that first.
For the basketball one, it was it's cool to see like what happens behind the scenes, and just to see how something that can be done can kind of manipulate the system. I enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah, because I like to do like the behind the scenes kind of stuff.
Really?
Or I like to watch it.
Like what?
Like the recent thing that came out on Beyonce, like it showed all of the behind the scenes work and what she did to get to the point that she did.
But this is like all about business. That's way different, I think.
It's behind the scenes, so it's behind the scenes.
Okay, my view. This movie was super boring. Had no A-list actors. It was really slow. And it was all about like the business side of basketball. So it was okay, but it was also like, to me, pretty boring. I'd probably give it a 2 stars. How many stars would you give it?
Probably 2.
So you wouldn't really recommend it, even though you just praised it?
I didn't praise it. I said I like behind the scenes stuff.
Okay, next movie. The Week Of.
I like that one.
So The Week Of stars Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, a lot of the normals in Kevin and Adam Sandler movies. I can't even remember their names. But okay, review that one.
It's funny. It's like a family watch movie, but language-wise, maybe not so much.
Does it swear? I don't remember.
I think it says it drops a couple.
Like R-rated swearing or PG-13?
There
I
might
don't
have
remember.
been one F word. There's definitely a lot of S words. But overall, it's like a...
You said a good family movie.
It's a funny family... maybe the parents should watch it like the first time and write down the different times where it swears.
It's probably not super kid friendly, much like most of Adam Sandler's movies. I don't remember the rating of it, but it's about like Chris Rock and Adam Sandler's kids are getting married, and then Adam Sandler's poor, Chris Rock is rich, and they're trying to figure out how to like plan and do all the wedding stuff, whatever. It was pretty funny, but also like kind of corny, kind of cheesy. I'll give it 3 stars.
Same.
I wouldn't like highly encourage you to watch it, but if you're like, if you're an Adam Sandler fan and or Chris Rock fan, then I mean it's not like that hard to watch. So okay, so we watched the Meyerowits story. You want me to
like
brief
20
it?
minutes, yeah, you go.
We watched like 20 minutes and it showed some boobies, so then we turned it off. But that movie has Adam. We watched it because it has Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller, Dustin Hoffman. Whoever Dustin Hoffman was married to, I think is pretty famous. A lot of famous people. Usually when I pick these movies, I haven't really looked at rating. I haven't watched any trailers. Like last week, we watched like an Indian
Chopstick.
We watched Chopsticks, and it was like based in like India, and it had these characters. They were speaking English, but it was like Indian accented English. So it was like the premise was like a girl gets a car stolen and hires like a thief to help get it back. So I'm like, ooh, cool. But it ended up being like an Indian-based movie, so it was like I probably should have read that because I probably wouldn't watch it otherwise. Yeah. So Meyerowits story. It's probably funny if you watch it, but just know it's got some adult content in it. All right. Next, we watched. Did we watch First Impression first? I think we watched First Impression first. My thoughts on that. It was very Hallmarky. And kind of like low budget feeling. At some points, it was kind of all over the place. And it almost felt too like soap opera-y. So it was kind of like a weird, like, cheesy, super corny movie. Like, I might give that in between a 2 and 3 stars as well. It was a decent movie. Like, it ended up being alright. It was a love story, but a little too, like, eye-rolly on the lovey-dovey mushiness and stuff.
I'm going to start off with I'd give it 1 star.
1 star?
1 star. It seemed super low budget and I just felt awkward watching it at some points. That's all my thoughts on that.
It was like a book, like, you know those, like, what are those books? It was like a porno book.
Almost like a...
It's like those books that people write where it's like super, like the one in Friends that Jennifer Aniston reads. And Joey gets a hold of it and Joey starts reading it.
Oh.
Like those kind of books. And the guy is writing that kind of book, like very passion, whatever. And he's like in this ish relationship and it keeps like doing clips of the book and he
almost like the Notebook
like him in real life. I don't even know. It was super weird. But it wasn't like to me super bad. Like if you're bored and just looking, like but I guess according to Kay, junk and don't watch it. Okay, next we watched Sergeant Will Gardner. So that one on the again, I didn't look at anything on it. It had to do with like I watched one clip and I was like, ooh, this looks pretty good. It's about a military veteran. I don't know. It just like I was like, cool, one of those movies about like returned veterans where it's like kind of feely. You'll get to kind of see like their side. It starts off like pretty slow. The first probably like 40 minutes are really slow. But then after that it picks up and it gets pretty good and like you kind of I don't know. I may give this one like also like a 2 and maybe like a 2.7 stars, maybe a 3.
Getting technical, 2.7.
Well, because I keep saying in between 2 and 3. I don't know. Giving stars is hard to rate it that way, but like it does have some like good insight and good things for you to think about in terms of like these veterans who come home and stuff like that. Just like a lot of movies, it has nothing, doesn't show like anything in the war except this guy's flashbacks, and then yeah, so it is kind of an interesting show. Again, no A-list actors, just another random movie.
They have Lieutenant Dan.
Oh, Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump's in it. But I would say if you're trying to like get thoughtful or you're into like military stuff, it might be something cool for you to watch. But other than that, it's kind of long and slow, but it was decent.
Yeah, it's an emotional ride for sure. I would say 2 to 3 stars. Like him. Weird when it comes to like the one chick.
Yeah, random that chick that was in it.
And I did not love the ending. I wish there could have been like an extension, but that's all I got for that one.
Okay, now we saved the best for last. This one you guys might have all already seen. I think it said. Let me look this out look this up real quick. So I think they just started coming out with a TV show of it as well, Limitless, with the man, the myth, the legend, Bradley Cooper. You wanna do this? You go first this time.
I haven't. Well, from what I can remember, I haven't seen it. I enjoyed this movie very much. To think of what you're capable of, and to think that. Can I say that's a drug?
I don't know. Let's see what the. Okay, it says a desperate rider in a downward spiral, a mysterious drug that changes everything, but how long can it last? That's what the.
To think that people can create something that can enable you to use more of your mind's capacity. I think that that's pretty cool, and it was cool watching it to see what he could achieve. And it's like an action filled movie. I give it 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I think it kind of like is along the lines of maybe this is off base because some people that I know like think that this movie I'm about to compare it to is like the best movie of all time. But I would kind of compare it to, which I've only seen maybe once or twice, Inception.
Oh.
It's kind of like Inception, like it just makes you think a little bit, I guess. I don't know how factual, like, statistically what they're doing is based on, like, whatever, but pretty action movie. Bradley Cooper must have been, like, obviously earlier in his career when he was less popular. I had already seen it before, and I remembered it being, like, a super sweet movie. I think that this would be a dope, like, I would recommend you'd watch this movie because it's tight. I'd probably give it, like, a 4.2 stars out of 5. On the lower side of 4, even though I do think it's tight. So out of all the movies we watched, it kind of makes sense. Like the low budget films, I think we'll watch a lot of these like archived movies and maybe we'll find like 1 in 20 that's actually good. But then the ones with the A-list actors, those ones are always like at least pretty decent. So I highly recommend Limitless if you're like on a whim and you watch our videos, and of the ones that we watch, definitely I would watch that one. Okay, so that was 6 movies that we just talked about. Hopefully we didn't bore you to death. If you guys have any movies that you want us to review or watch, we would love for you to like suggest it. Give us some more pinpointed action that we can be more like interacting with you guys. We're still trying to figure out the kinks of what we're doing. We're watching a lot of movies, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of we'll review and we'll weed out which ones we think are whack, which ones we think are great, so that you guys don't have to do that. And hopefully our videos aren't too long to where you're like not even trying to watch it, so that you can get through the fluff of what we got going on. If you like our videos, subscribe. If there's any movies that we reviewed that you feel a different type of way about or the same way, like we'd love to discuss it or whatever, like leave a comment, give us a thumbs up. I don't even know what thumbs up does for our videos. I just see other people doing it, so I say give us a thumbs up. And you got anything to say?
Enjoy your movies.
Yeah, enjoy your movies. And we will see you on Friday. Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday. Peace!